I'd like to call the meeting to order. This is the Commissioner meeting of October 13th, 2021 at 6 p.m. at the Sussex County Community College Performing Arts Center, Newton, New Jersey. Terry, would you please call the roll?
Commissioner Carney?
Here.
Director Fantasia?
Here.
Commissioner Fasano?
Here.
Commissioner Patillo?
Here.
Commissioner Yardley is absent this evening.
Okay, thank you. Just to make note, Administrator Greg Poff and Commissioner Herb Yardley are at the New Jersey Association of Counties Conference representing Sussex County. In place of Greg Poff this evening, we have our CFO, Elke Yetter, here joining us tonight for any questions. Thank you for being here this evening. Next, we have our moment of silence and salute to the flag. And tonight, we would like to keep in our thoughts Bob Sheridan. We were notified by the Musconetcong River Management Council of his passing last week from a brave battle with cancer. He served as a representative from Hampton Township, and our thoughts and prayers are with his family at this time. Please rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Number 4 is the public statement. Pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, PL 1975, adequate notice as defined by Section 3D of Chapter 231, PL 1975, has been made by regular mail and email, such notice being submitted on September 15th, 2021, from the Administrative Center of the County of Sussex, located at 1 Spring Street, Newton, New Jersey, to the following: New Jersey Herald, Star Ledger, WSUS Radio, and WNNJ Radio, and is also posted on the bulletin board maintained in the Administrative Center for Public Announcements and has been submitted to the Sussex County Clerk in compliance with said act. At this time, I ask that you please mute all of your electronic devices. Number 5 is the approval of the agenda. So I need a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
And discussion. I'm going to ask that we table item 13G. That's a resolution establishing amendments to health benefits policy for Sussex County retirees and dependents. We were notified by Commissioner Carney that the CWA did not have adequate time to review, and I would like them to have the opportunity to review and then for this to come back to us. So I ask that this be tabled in the agenda, be amended, tabling Resolution G. So I need a motion to approve the agenda with 13G tabled.
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Number 6 is proclamations, certifications, and presentations. So this evening, we have a proclamation recognizing National Disability Employment Awareness Month. And accepting the proclamation this evening is Nick Kapitanakis from the Division of Human Services. I'm going to ask Commissioner Anthony Fasano to please present.
And Nick, if you would like to join me over at that microphone right there. Proclamation, and I'll give it to you if that's okay. Great. Cool. Well, thank you, Nick, for being here. And I'll get started on this important proclamation that we wanted to recognize here. And it states, whereas the County of Sussex and the Sussex County Disability Services Advisory Council is recognizing National Disability Employment Awareness Month this October to raise awareness about disability employment issues and celebrate the many and varied contributions of people with disabilities. And whereas workplaces welcoming of the talents of all people, including people with disabilities, are a critical part of our efforts to build an inclusive community and strong economy. And whereas the County of Sussex embraces the talent and skills that individuals with disabilities bring to our workplaces and communities and wants to promote the right to equal employment opportunity for all people. Now therefore be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the Sussex County Disability Services Advisory Council and the Sussex County Board of County Commissioners, the month of October is hereby designated as National Disability Employment Awareness Month in Sussex County. By the order of County Commissioners, Dawn Fantasia, Commissioner Director, myself as Deputy Commissioner, Sylvia Patillo, Herb Yardley, and Chris Carney as Commissioners. And with that, Nick, would you like to say a few words regarding your involvement?
Thank you. On behalf of the Sussex County Disability Services Advisory Council, I'd like to thank Commissioner Director Dawn Fantasia and the members of the Board of County Commissioners for their dedication and commitment to recognizing the contributions that people with disabilities make in the workplace. The purpose of National Disability Employment Awareness Month is to educate the community about disability employment issues and to celebrate the many and varied contributions of America's workers with disabilities. As part of its mission, the Sussex County Disability Services Advisory Council continues to advocate for increased employment opportunities, training, and supportive services for the disabled population of Sussex County. I would again like to thank the Board of County Commissioners for promoting the employment of those with disabilities and joining us in celebrating their contributions to our community and economy. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Nick, for coming here this evening. Number 7 is public hearings, and there are none. Number 8 is public session from the floor. This public session is for those wishing to make a comment of 3 minutes or less regarding an agenda item. Please line up at the microphone and maintain 6 feet social distance with other attendees. Please state your name, municipality, and agenda topic for the record. I need a motion to open the floor for public comment.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, the floor is now open for public comment on agenda items.
Good evening. My name is Zoe Heath. I live in Vernon Township. I just want to say I'm glad we're appointing new trustees to the Sussex County Community College. College is gracious enough to let us have our meetings here instead of the county meeting room, so it's really wonderful to see that we'll see new faces. I would be remiss if I didn't bring up the last time trustees on our community college made headlines was GOP's chair, Jerry Scanlon, saying horrible, horrible things on the Sussex County GOP Twitter. I would also be remiss if I didn't say that pattern has been continued by our officials. Chris Carney threatened a woman a week and a half ago. She filed a police report. It is shocking that this board, regardless of friendship or relationships, I'm discussing the trustees. I understand that it's a little bit confusing.
Ms. Heath?
Yes.
You need to help me out. Where are we at in the agenda? As the instructions were pretty clear. When you got up to the microphone, let us know what agenda item you're talking about. So help me out there. So
sure. I don't know the exact
number. And then tell me how we've gotten from there to this, because I think you're in the wrong spot in the agenda.
Sure. I thought it was super clear, but I'm not sure of the exact number.
No, it's definitely not clear.
If you could let me finish, I'll tell you exactly what I'm talking about. I'm discussing the appointees to the Sussex County Community College Board of Trustees.
Okay, well, we've gotten you've gotten way off base then. So let's stick to the agenda item.
I'm talking about the Board of Trustees, and if you could let me finish my whole thought, you'll hear the entire
Board of Trustees.
I am. I'm talking about members of the Board of Trustees.
I can talk just as loud as you can.
I'm not raising my voice.
You're talking over me. So let's make it very clear. You want to run a political campaign? The place to do that's outside someplace, not here. If you want to talk about an agenda item, let's have at it. So let's talk about the trustees.
I'm discussing the trustees.
Otherwise, we're going to cut you off.
I'm discussing the trustees. So if you would let me finish, that'd be great. Again, the last time we discussed the trustees, the last time the trustees made headlines was when a trustee made blatant comments disrespecting women, people of the Islamic community, the LGBT community. And again, this board did nothing. The trustees censured that member. Tonight, I'm asking the commissioners to censure the same member, Commissioner Carney, who threatened a woman this last week. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Rayanne Giroux, and I'm the Vice President of CWA 1032, Branch 10, Resolution G. I'm reading this on behalf of Christina Marks, 1032 CWA Branch 10 President.
Ma'am, that item's been pulled from the agenda.
Yes, she asked me to read this.
Well, there's nothing on the agenda to that effect. It's already gone. It'll be on the, if it ends up on the agenda again, it'll be at another meeting.
Okay. So on behalf of all members and retirees, we thank the commissioners for recognizing the proper due diligence necessary for passing this important resolution.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Okay. Seeing no one come forward to speak on agenda items, I'll make a motion to close the floor for public comment on agenda items.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, number 9 is commissioner comments. We will start with Commissioner Carney.
Thank you, Director. Bear with me. I have a lot to go over. I'll make it as painful as possible. Engineering and planning. Fiscal year 2022 Local Bridges Fund is underway, and that Sussex County will receive a New Jersey DOT Local Bridges Fund allotment of $1,559,133 from the New Jersey Transportation Fund, TTF. Money coming back. That's good. That was a good job by Senator Orho to work on that, and it's coming back finally. These funding levels are these are to commensurate with fiscal year 22 appropriations. The primary objectives of the local bridge program are remove bridges from the structurally deficient list, remove bridges from scour critical list, remove bridges from the functional obsolete list, and prevent bridges from becoming structurally deficient and scour critical. Eligibility. This is what's going to come in effect. So primary structurally deficient bridges, that's number 1. Functionally obsolete bridges, scour critical bridges. Secondary, minor bridges, structures that require priority 1 and 2 repairs, bridge elements that have a condition rating of 5 that are expected to be downgraded to a 4 within the next rating cycle. All counties are required to submit their application on or before November 19th, 2021, online through the Department's electronic grants administration system, known by the acronym of SAGE. Okay. So we have some replacements, some projects going on. Replacement of signal SC36. This is at the intersection of County Route 607, Crescent Road and Lakeside Boulevard in Apacon. The designer is Boswell Engineering. It got awarded to Fagon Electric for $449,042.30 at the August 11th meeting, County Commissioners meeting. Construction is expected to commence on fall of 2021 and be completed in the spring of 2022. An updated notice will be distributed once a construction start date is finalized. Fiscal year 2019 NJDOT LAIF distribution grant totals $449,042.30. Construction activities are stormwater drainage pipe and inlet work, installation of curbing, sidewalk, curb ramps, and pavers to match the existing conditions in the back-on, installation of underground electrical signal components, installation of above-ground electrical signal components, removal of existing signal equipment, final milling of paving, striping, paving, markings, and final site cleanup. Moving on to open space. The Open Space Trails Program. The county is pleased to announce the first solicitation of Sussex County Trails Grant Program is underway. The Trails Grant Program is funded through the Sussex County Farmland Preservation, Recreation, Open Space Trust Fund. The grant program will provide small grants for construction, rehabilitation, restoration, and maintenance of publicly owned, non-motorized shared use trails in Sussex County. The program is open to all 24 municipalities and charitable conservancies with support from the local municipal government. Applications can be obtained by contacting the Sussex County Division of Planning and Economic Development at 973-579-0500. All applications must be returned to the Sussex County Open Space Committee through Division of Planning and Economic Development by December 2nd of this year. Awards are anticipated to be announced by March of 2022. Again, local bridge funding program. The New Jersey Department of Transportation has announced the fiscal year 2020 Local Bridges Fund Program will receive an allotment of $1,559,133. The NJDOT Local Bridge is funded through the New Jersey Transportation Fund. I feel like I read that already. Moving on, Tennessee Gas Pipeline. So we got some information from them. I'm just going to read this. I know there was questions about Tennessee Gas Pipeline not answering. They are now on the portal, and they can find those questions. I don't think Mr. Collins is here tonight. Oh, there you are. So they should be on there. The staff at the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, FERC or Commission, has prepared a final environmental impact statement, EIS, for the East 300 upgrade project proposed by the Tennessee Gas Pipeline Company in the above referenced docket. Tennessee requires authorization to modify 2 existing compressor stations and construct one new compressor station in Pennsylvania and New Jersey to create 115 million cubic feet per day of firm transportation capacity on Tennessee's existing 300 line for Consolidated Edison Company in New York. The EIS is not it's not a decision document. It presents Commission staff's independent analysis of the environmental issues for the Commission to consider when addressing the merits of all issues in the proceeding. The final EIS responds to comments that were received on the Commissioner's February 19, 2021 environmental assessment and July 2nd, 2021 draft EIS and discloses downstream greenhouse gas emissions for the project, with the exception of climate change impacts. The FERC staff concludes that approval of the proposed project with the mitigation measures recommended in the EIS would not result in significant environmental impacts. FERC staff continues to be unable to determine significance with regards to climate change impacts. The final EIS is only available in electronic format, and it may be viewed and downloaded from the FERC's website, which is www.ferc.gov. I'll say that again, www.ferc.gov. Additional information about the project is available from the Commissioner's Office, External Affairs, at 866-208-FERC. Moving on, I just want to, if there's any businesses out here, we sent out a survey to all the businesses in the county, and we didn't get much response back. This was due October 8th, which was last Friday, I believe. So I talked to Administrator Poff, and we're going to extend this to the end of the month. My plan was to give this information to the other municipalities. That will save them on soliciting them, asking them to survey themselves, spending the postage, and so on and so forth. So we're going to put this out there. I know Sam Gabriel is going to work on that. Chamber of Commerce, Tammy Horsfield will work on that and get this information out. But it's very important we get this information. That way we could figure out where we're going to spend this American Rescue Fund money. There's 30 businesses that replied back to us. That's I would assume in the county it's got to be 700 to 800 businesses. So that's not what we're looking for. Hopefully they'll get the information, then we can pass along to our municipalities. AG boards, we're looking for people for the ag boards, planning boards, where there's a lot of vacancies. Anybody looking to do something, to volunteer on any of these boards, you can check us out on the website. There's the log of what we're missing. Montague, unless I'm missing somebody else, that sent a resolution in for voter integrity. I know we received that. I know Sparta and Wantage has that on their docket. They're looking to put that on their agenda. So if you guys could reach out to your municipalities and see where they're at on that, I would appreciate that. Personal note, Saturday, Director Fantasia and I went to the grand opening of the rail trail in Newton. That was about 1.6 miles. I don't think we made it to 1.6 miles. We got a little bored and we turned around, but really, really nice job. Horse-friendly, just really nice. And this is just a part of a bigger picture. And we're trying to fight for some funds to continue this project. Debbie Danielson, who we met, she's going to give me some information tomorrow. She'll email me that information. We could put a press release out and a picture of the whole thing going on. So another nice project that we're doing. And this trail is going to connect 3 different states. I forget how many miles it is, but it's just a nice long trail. On Saturday, if you guys are not busy, Doug, if you're not busy too, if you want to come from Warren County, Sussex Borough's putting a brand new public playground in. They're looking for volunteers. There's going to be games and activities will be available on site for children if you want to bring your children. There's going to be food, music. Like I said, it's Saturday at 8:45 to 2:30. I have, if anybody's interested, there's a QR code here. You could scan it. You could also find this online just to set the time that you're going to be there. This is Boggs Field, located at 20 Newton Avenue in Sussex, and you can park right at the school or across the street.
Chris, can you just repeat those details again of when that is?
Sure. It's this Saturday, 8:45 to 2:30, and if you're interested, you can either go online or I can give you this QR code. Just hit it with your phone.
And where is it again?
It's in Sussex, in the borough,
20
right by the school. It's 20 Newton Avenue.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Okay. I was also, last week, I was able to give an Eagle Scout a proclamation, another award, and this one hit home. It was actually on a Sunday at 3 o'clock, right in the middle of football. Good kid. I actually coached him when he was probably 7 years old, and he's worked really hard. And a matter of fact, he built that bench. He built a bench going into the Newton Rail Trail, that was his project, which was really neat. So that it came to fruition between giving him that Eagle Scout Award, and dealing with that rail trail, going to that. Just nice. It's nice. We gave a lot of awards this year to them. I know we're going to be working on a press release for them as well. I don't know if we've had this many Eagle Scout proclamations, but that's good. The kids are involved, and that's nice to see. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Commissioner Patillo?
There have been quite a few events in the last couple of weeks. One of them was the stigma-free walk. I don't know if that went off. It was pouring rain. I had been scheduled to go, and I didn't go because of the rain. But bringing awareness to stigmas is really important. And there's so much of that still exists. You would think in this day and age that people would realize, addictions, mental health, and all of those other problems associated with that. The stigmas keep people from getting the help that they need. So if you're out there and you see somebody with mental health issues, approach them, offer to get them assistance. Call the county, call the health department, and find someone that could help them and give them what they need so that they can live a life free of any other problems. And the same with the addiction. We now have Clear. Clear just celebrated its 5th anniversary, and I want to congratulate all of them. I mean, there's so many people involved, the board, the recovery coaches, the just amazing people. Chief Richards, who was the first one who realized that we needed a program like Clear. After Narcan came into the police departments and everybody was trained, it seems that they found themselves using Narcan on the same people all the time. And I think his question was well taken. What happens next? Is this all this is? We just keep bringing them back and there's no place for recovery. And for years, Becky Carlson, who started with the coalition in the year 2000, has been looking for recovery. Their programs are always for prevention and education because we couldn't find recovery. I remember being at Sussex Hospital and going to different places with that group and trying to locate a place where we could actually be in recovery ourselves. Just couldn't do it. So when the CLEAR program started, it was a small program. Then all of a sudden, the government realized that we were having problems with addiction and we really needed help, and the money started to pour in. Well, what was good about Sussex County, we had a program in place. We didn't have to take that grant money and then figure out how to use it. Our program was always moving forward. So when the money came in, we just kept expanding. Then they were able to go and to meet people in the hospitals. And then they had the Helping Hand program that showed up, and the prosecutor and our police go with recovery coaches to people's homes and offer them recovery and assistance. And it has just expanded, and they do a phenomenal job, and I just want to congratulate all of them, because this idea really started in the year 2000, and now it's blossoming. People are getting the help that they need. There's a lot of recovery going on, and lives are being saved, and it's just great all over. Last night I also went to the domestic abuse event. That's always a very solemn event. It's held over at the Green. This year again we did it online. We spoke, but we were just filmed, and it went out on YouTube. They had the luminaires up, and there's always a very, it's more than sad, it's just heartbreaking sentiment that everybody, it just permeates the whole event for all the people that lost their lives to domestic abuse and violence in Sussex County. We may think that it doesn't exist, it does exist. And with the pandemic and the lockdown, domestic abuse is up 8.1% throughout the nation. It's up here in Sussex County, and it's serious. We also have the opportunity to celebrate those that found that inner strength within themselves to break away and break the cycle. But it's not easy to do. It's difficult. And what we need to do is, again, get rid of the stigma. Get awareness out there. If you recognize the signs of someone that's being abused, offer help. Speak to someone. We have the DAISY organization up here that has safe houses for people. If they're ready, we can move them into a safe house, and we can get them the help that they need. So help is available. It's no longer a secret situation. It's no longer a family problem. It's become a community problem, and people need people. So please, if you suspect anything like that, stop off at DAISY, go to the health department, but seek help for that person. Sometimes it's just a kind word and someone who will support them that enables them to leave. Okay, now I have some information about our clinics. The Sussex County Transportation Citizens Advisory Committee will hold its annual public hearing virtually via Zoom at 12 p.m. on Thursday, October 14th. For additional information, contact Christine Florio at 973-940-5200, extension 1381, or cflorio@sussex.nj.us. This is an important meeting because the people that use our transportation give us a lot of information and tell us what they like, what they don't like. It enables us to look at different problems and to solve them for them. So, and we also get a lot of kudos. It's nice to hear the good as long as with the negative as well. The next one is our flu COVID vaccination clinics. The Office of Public Health and Nursing will be holding flu vaccination clinics at various locations throughout Sussex County. Visit the Sussex County website at www.sussex.nj.us to view clinic dates, times, and locations. The Pfizer, Moderna, and Janssen J&J COVID vaccines are available at no cost during these clinics on a walk-in basis. So if you go to a flu clinic, you have not had your vaccine, you can walk in and you can get your vaccine free of charge. Appointments are required for the flu vaccine and can be scheduled by calling the Office of Public Health and Nursing at 973-579-0570, extension 1211. The Division of Senior Services will host its annual Caregiver Expo at the Farmstead Golf and County Club, located at 88 Lawrence Road in Lafayette, from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. on Thursday, October 21st. Again, for more information, call Senior Services at 973-579-0555. A Veterans Appreciation Luncheon for Sussex County veterans will be held at the Farmstead Golf and Country Club in Lafayette from 11:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. on Monday, October 25th. For additional information and to RSVP for the luncheon, please contact the Sussex County Division of Senior Services, again at 973-579-0555, extension 1277. And please RSVP by October 18th. A woman's health clinic will be held on Thursday, October 14th from 4:30 to 8:30 p.m. and Thursday, October 21st from 4 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. at the Office of Public Health Nursing, which is on 201 Wheatsworth Road in Hamburg. Those appointments are required and can be made by calling the Office of Public Health Nursing at 973-579-0570, extension 1246. And the last clinic is a child's health clinic that'll be held on Tuesday, October 19th from 9:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m., again at the Office of Public Health Nursing in Hamburg. The clinic offers complete physical exams for children, screenings, and age-appropriate immunizations for children ages 0 to 5 years old that are without health insurance. Again, please call 973-579-0570, extension 1211 to schedule an appointment. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Patillo. Commissioner Fasano?
Well, thank you, Director Fantasia, and thanks to all who are joining us here this evening. I'll start my report tonight picking up a little where Commissioner Carney left off regarding the business survey that he mentioned. That survey helps identify what type of help, including financial, is needed now, and it will aid in our local recovery planning efforts as well at the county level. And regarding responses, Sussex County is working with the Sussex County Chamber of Commerce in dispersing this information, but if you know a local business owner, if you are one yourself, please go right on our county website to find this survey. You can also give us here at the county a call, or the Chamber of Commerce a call as well, to help you get that survey. I also wanted to discuss tonight this very institution, Sussex County Community College, who I again thank for their generosity in allowing us to meet in this beautiful facility. I know the college president is here, so thank you, Mr. Connolly. Commissioner Yardley and I were briefed by the college president and his team over the last few days to discuss how the semester is going and to discuss the college's planning for the future. We discussed items such as the college's increasing alignment of programs and program offerings with current labor market needs, continuing to develop new academic programs like a course for electrical linemen, for example, the strategic improvements to facilities in and around campus, which I know many of us see every day. They are aligned to what the Sussex County Community College's plan is to take these programs and have them be addressed to current labor needs that we have in the county. They're also working to expand relationships and develop academic partnerships with four-year colleges and universities in the state, or high schools in the county, or with local employers and institutions as well. It was a good report. There's no doubt that there's a lot of good things happening here. I feel focusing on student achievement and opportunity while maximizing value and prioritizing affordability is the right formula for county colleges right now in the state of New Jersey, and I also feel that's what's helping this county college, Sussex County Community College, show better student enrollment figures and efficiency metrics compared to other community colleges in our state and in our area. So there's an immense amount of value that this institution provides to Sussex County. We know that, and we're proud to partner with them on their mission to be the best county college possible for Sussex County. And finally, I also just wanted to mention, as I know some commissioners have joined me in these meetings, that we've started our budget committee meetings with many of our county departments here, and we're just beginning our next steps in our own budget development planning for next year's budget. Those are a lot of meetings, but they're important in how we begin to develop what we're doing for the next fiscal year. And finally, as always, for the latest COVID updates, up-to-date news, events taking place in the county, and everything else in between, please visit our website, simply sussex.nj.us. Thank you, Director, and that concludes my report for this evening.
Thank you. On that train regarding the Health Department and some of the most recent updates, the Department of Health reports that Sussex County residents were administered a total of 169,898 vaccines here in Sussex County, and Public Health Nursing continues to offer that walk-in vaccination clinic. They offer Moderna and the Johnson & Johnson or Janssen vaccine every Thursday, 9 a.m. to noon, 2 to 4. And then for those who are moderately or severely immunocompromised and eligible for a third dose of Moderna only. There is no current approval for a second dose of Johnson & Johnson vaccine at the moment. If you are interested in a Pfizer vaccine or a booster shot for those who are immunocompromised, that's being offered by Atlantic Health Systems via Newton Hospital. You could visit their website. Free at-home test kits continue to be offered through a program by the County of Sussex. Again, that is the saliva test through Vault and the nasal test through LabCorp. So again, that's live. Visit our county website, click. It's delivered to your home overnight. You do your test at home, you send it in, and you'll have your results in 24 to 48 hours emailed to you, and those are PCR tests. The most recent New Jersey Department of Health COVID-19 activity level report indicates our region to be in the moderate or yellow activity. COVID stats for Sussex County in total since the start of the pandemic, 17,302 COVID positive cases. That represents about 12% of our population. There's been 327 deaths in total in Sussex County, 134 of those originating from long-term care facilities. Health Division is now issuing daily COVID reports from Monday through Friday, and then you'll notice Saturday and Sunday is reported as a 3-day in total each Monday. We're averaging about shy of 50 cases per day, seems to be the average now that we are seeing. By way of hospitalizations, September's numbers, there were 42 total hospitalizations in the month of September. So far in October, we have 14 hospitalizations thus far that's reported. So we'll continue to update those numbers as well. There are currently 24 outbreaks of COVID-19 in the county. One is in an acute care center. 4 are in long-term care facilities between staff and residents. 2 are sports-related, and 1 is a high school party related of high school students. And there are 16 related to schools. As you know, 99.8% of the cases have been identified as the Delta variant. For more information, if you should choose to elect to receive a vaccine, booster shot, etc., please just visit our website. Again, Atlantic Health once referred to us as the one-stop shop to go to for any information that you may need, with all the proper links that you would need for information for testing. As Commissioner Carney said, he and I attended the Sussex Branch Rail Trail. So what that is, it's built on the former line of the Erie-Lackawanna Railroad. And Newton has the 1.6-mile extension. I think you discredited us. I mean, I feel like we walked. It had to be like 2 miles. I'm not buying what you're selling. So I think we walked 1 mile one way, 1 mile the other way.
All right, fair enough.
Right, that's fair, right? It was young. It was early. Your son was young. He ran. I mean, he did it. We didn't. But anyhow, it's really nice because it allows you to walk, bike, horseback ride. You can cross-country ski, when it snows and the snow is nice and flat and packed. And it has really nice composite that's put down, so it almost has a little bit of a spring to it, so it's not like loose gravel. It's part of the larger Liberty Water Gap Trail that spans from the Statue of Liberty all the way through the Delaware Water Gap. Now, some of that funding is a little bit in jeopardy due to federal funding being pulled back. The county had locked in a few years ago to a grant program that was really going to allow us to do a fair amount of rehabilitation, or the trail was going to be done. We were going to repair a bridge. And then the county also had agreed to provide maintenance to that bridge. However, the funding has been scaled back significantly, dealing us a blow. So now we're back to the drawing board, and at the table, and hoping that that funding again comes through to us. It was a great day in Newton. Their town manager, their mayor, their council were there for the ribbon cutting. Smokey the Bear was there. I mean, you can't beat that. He didn't walk, though. We did better than him. And it was just a great day, and it brought back the concept that everybody's getting outdoors. Everybody's enjoying these resources. It was a good investment of the grant money and the labor that went into it, and I hope projects like that expand. Next, as Chris had mentioned about the Tennessee gas pipeline, I actually spoke this afternoon to Joe DeSantis and a couple of the representatives and the guy that presented here that day from Tennessee Gas Pipeline, and I specifically asked, in your honor, Mr. Ken Collins, about the questions that were submitted, how you would go about seeing them, They reiterated to me that they had updated the portal, put direct questions, put answers, and also the portal is still open if you have additional questions that you can submit, and they would answer those as well and post them. So I followed up, and again, I spoke to them voice call today, and Commissioner Carney did, and they've been communicating with Terry Lyons as well to get you that information. As Anthony said, we're doing the budget subcommittee meetings. We've all divided up who our liaison, departments are and who's attending which meetings. They're coming with their requests, and it's very timely with our first receipt of the first wave of the American Rescue Plan funds, so we can begin, allocating some of those funds. What else do I have here? Oh, I'd just like you to keep in mind some of our police officers in the county are participating in the Police Unity Tour that's done annually. They leave New Jersey, they travel hundreds and hundreds of miles, and they raise money and funds for those who have died in the line of duty. The funds go to scholarship funds, sometimes for these fallen officers' children. And it's just a really wonderful program, and it's a true test of physical prowess, let's say, because it's not easy. They ride regardless of weather. I mean, it was pouring the other day, and I saw they were, posting shots and whatnot, and it's just something that's kind of close to my heart. The school district that I work for, we sponsor a rider who, there was a slain police officer in Jersey City in 2014. His name was Melvin Vincent Santiago. We named one of our school gyms after him. He was a very, very young officer, and he was a charter school graduate in Hudson County, and I worked for a public charter school. And he was called on a false flag call to a Walgreens in the middle of the night in a very dangerous district of Jersey City, and he was shot 6 times in the head before exiting his car before the assailant committed suicide himself. He was young. He was 22 years old when it happened, and every year we sponsor his uncle who rides in his memory. And I looked, and I know some of the officers from Sparta are riding this year, Stanhope as well. So please, let's just keep them in their thoughts. They're doing something noble to really take care of the families of people who lost a loved one who died in the line of duty. And that's it for my messaging this evening. So let's move on here to number 10, which is the approval of the consent agenda. The Board of County Commissioners of the County of Sussex has reviewed the consent agenda consisting of various proposed resolutions and determined that adoption of the said resolutions is in and will further the public interest. If any commissioner would like to remove an item to be considered separately, please do so now. So I need a motion to adopt the consent agenda A through C.
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Number 11, approval of minutes. The regular meeting, September 23rd, 2021, and the executive session minutes from September 23rd, 2021. I need a motion to approve the minutes from the regular meeting and executive session.
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Number 12, appointments and/or resignations. We need a motion to adopt the appointments A through D.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Discussion? And for the sake of the public, A is the appointment of John Santillo as a member to the Sussex County Community College Board of Trustees. B is the reappointment of David Kastner as a member of the Sussex County Community College Board of Trustees. C is acknowledging the appointment of John Cassiano as a member to the Sussex County Community College Search Committee by the County Administrator. And D is reappointment of Jared Confrancesco to the Board of Education for the Sussex County Technical School. Okay, so we had the motion and the second. Terry, would you please call the roll?
Director Fantasia?
Yes.
Commissioner Patillo?
Yes.
Commissioner Carney?
Yes.
Commissioner Fasano?
Yes.
Okay. Number 13 are resolutions. Again, we have A through H. G was tabled earlier. I need a motion to adopt resolutions A through H.
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
Discussion? Terry, please call the roll.
Director Fantasia?
Yes.
Commissioner Patillo?
Yes.
Commissioner Carney?
Yes.
Commissioner Fasano?
Yes.
Okay, number 14, awards of contract change orders bid, A through F. Board of County Commissioners of the County of Sussex has reviewed the award of contract change orders and bids consisting of various proposed resolutions and determined that adoption of the said resolutions is in and will further the public interest. I need a motion to adopt resolutions A through F.
So moved.
And a second?
And second.
Discussion? Terry, please call the roll.
Director Fantasia?
Yes.
Commissioner Patillo?
Yes.
Commissioner Carney?
Yes.
Commissioner Fasano?
Yes.
Next is the financials. Resolution for the payment of the bills list October 13th, 2021.
So
I need-
moved. Oh, sorry.
And a second?
Second.
Discussion? Terry, please call the roll.
Director Fantasia?
Yes.
Commissioner Patillo?
Yes.
Commissioner Carney?
Yes.
Commissioner Fasano?
Yes.
Next is personnel. Resolution authorizing the personnel agenda of October 13th, 2021. I need a motion to adopt the personnel agenda
So moved.
and a second.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Director Fantasia?
Yes.
Commissioner Patillo?
Yes.
Commissioner Carney?
Yes.
Commissioner Fasano?
Yes.
Number 17 is the administrative report. Again, Mr. Poff is at the NJAC conference with Commissioner Yardley, but I'm going to see if Elke Yetter has anything to share, please.
Good evening, Commissioners, members of the public. I believe most of you mentioned the items on the administrator's report, but Greg provided this for me to read, so I'm going to read them again. Development of the 2022 county budget. The operating budget subcommittee has completed a number of departmental budget hearings in the development of the 2022 county budget. The remaining departments will be making presentations to the subcommittee through Wednesday, October 20th. Capital budget hearings will be scheduled for the month of November. Again, for the flu clinics, the Office of Public Health Nursing will be offering both the flu clinic and the COVID-19 vaccine to all Sussex County residents at various pop-up clinics around the county. Recently, the division partnered with Atlantic Health System to provide residents the option of the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine in addition to the flu, Moderna, and Janssen vaccines. For a flu vaccine, pre-registration is required. Please call 973-579-0570 for an appointment or register online at www.sussex.nj.us/flu. And the 2021 crack sealing program is completed. The crack sealing extends the useful service life of a roadway by limiting the infiltration of water into the pavement structure. The county oversaw the completion of 34 miles of crack sealing at a cost of $347,900. And that concludes the administrator's report.
Thank you, Elke. Appreciate that. Next is number 18, County Council report.
I've given you or distributed my in-depth report to each of you, which we can discuss, as a lot of it relates to either litigation matters or personnel matters. But beyond that, for public consumption, we've appointed Mr. Poff as our point of contact in the opioid settlements. The county had previously adopted a resolution opting into the bankruptcy plan for the various defendants in the national opioid litigation. We're now at a point where we need to opt into the actual settlement order itself. That draft is being circulated by lead counsel. There's actually a call scheduled for Friday to discuss the particulars of it. I had expressed some concerns with the amount of dominion that the state wanted to assert over the individual subdivisions, like the counties and municipalities' ability to exercise sovereignty over their individual funds. Some of those changes have been made, so we were happy to see that, but we'll be discussing it in greater detail. We have until early January to make a final decision on whether to sign on to the consent agreement. Been working with the Sheriff's Office on some contract issues related to it. As I said earlier, we've got ongoing litigation on a myriad of fronts, largely insurance related, so I'm in constant contact with our outside counsels, and have been working to assist the county engineer and county adjusters on legal issues related to their specific offices.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any unfinished business from any commissioner? Any new business? Okay, then we move to number 21, which is public session from the floor. This public session is for those wishing to make general comments of 3 minutes or less on non-agenda items. Please line up at the microphone and maintain 6 feet social distance with other attendees. Please state your name and municipality for the record. So I need a motion to open the floor for public comment.
So moved.
And a second? Second. Discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the floor is open for public comment on non-agenda items.
Good evening. Thank you for your time. Ken Collins from Andover Township. Thank you for your help with the Tennessee Gas Pipeline and their parent company, Kinder Morgan. I'm anxious to see Tennessee Gas Pipeline's answers, and I hope each of you will take the time to review them all yourselves and ascertain whether you feel our community's questions have been sufficiently answered to your satisfaction. I have a couple of other issues I wanted to address. Over the months back, I presented to you, it was maybe 3 months and a half, I guess, I presented to you all a draft resolution allowing medicinal marijuana patients to home grow for personal use without fear of prosecution at the county level, which you've expressed support for, and I was just wondering where you're at with that. And this next thing, I'm a concerned citizen. I'm not a politician, and I'm not supporting any candidate here. Mr. Carney, your excuses for trying to intimidate a woman by sharing a text, calling her a bitch, and telling her she doesn't know what she's in for sound like a 5-year-old child trying to weasel out of the consequences of his bad behavior. No official who's comfortable behaving in this infantile manner should be permitted to hold office. Every single woman in Sussex County ought to turn out on Election Day and vote for somebody else. Mr. Carney wants us to believe he didn't circle her name, issue a veiled threat, call her a bitch, then text it to others to intimidate them. Mr. Carney's lying. That's exactly what he did. Mr. Carney, if you don't resign tonight, at least withdraw from the race for county commissioner and make room for a candidate that has honor, dignity, and decency. Thank you.
Hi, Jody Fernandez, Frankfurt, and Frankfurt Township Board of Education. I don't know Ken Collins, but thank you. He just spoke on my behalf very well. I appreciate that. Chris Carney sent me a harassing text 2 Thursdays ago. I was in my home. I had just finished cooking a lovely dinner for my mother-in-law and sent my oldest child off to homecoming. When I picked up the phone, I saw it was a joint text between Chris and our mayor of Frankfurt, Nick Civitan. I don't ever text with the both of them, so I was kind of surprised, but I have worked with them individually. Chris started a food pantry project with me when he was still mayor, and then I finished it with Nick Civitan. So it wasn't completely odd for them to get in touch with me, but it was for all 3 of us to be on a text together. I quickly realized my name was circled on an event that I had registered for the League of Women Voters, where several of the commissioners were speaking, where I would be able to participate in our democracy and learn about the candidates. He circled my name and said, "This bitch doesn't know what she's in for." So clearly I was not intended to be on the text. It was probably just meant for him and the mayor. But it was a peek behind the curtain, so to speak, of how they will smile at somebody in public, agree with them, and carry on their day, and then just kind of stick the screws to you when you are not looking. So I've worked in my job for 16 years at my current company. If I said that to somebody in a text after 16 years, I would be gone tomorrow. There wouldn't be any questions asked. I work in corporate America. There is absolutely no tolerance for it. I'm also on the school board, and that type of comment in our school building between children would more than likely be considered a hib, and that would follow them through college. So I don't know what should happen. I am a concerned citizen as well. I don't intend to run for any public office. I'm not involved politically. But I do know that the public needs to know who is running and what their options are, and what this person says in public is very different to what this person is saying to other people. And you could say, well, it's a personal matter, and it probably would be if he wasn't a commissioner, if Nick wasn't the mayor, if I wasn't an elected board member, and if the event in question wasn't a League of Women Voters session where I'm learning about the candidates. So it very closely ties into an ethical matter. Okay, thank you. And I'm sure if I poked around, we would find an ethics violation in there.
That's it. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
I wouldn't normally respond, but because that's not what this is about. The commissioners aren't going to say anything, but I do want to correct the record, just so we're very clear on what's going on. If you want to run a political campaign, there's a place to do that. This is not that place. This is a place to conduct county business. We're here assembled to do exactly that. If you have an issue personal to the commissioner, or if anyone has an issue personal to any of these commissioners, they have a place to voice it, and that's 20 days from now on Election Day. And the reason I say, we're here to conduct county business, and despite that, the reason why I didn't cut you off, because I don't think you're here to talk about county business, is because if I didn't let you, I wouldn't have had a chance to say this. Now, earlier tonight, you're on a social media exchange back and forth with Ms. Heath over there, in which we had talked about the meeting tonight, and it wasn't so that you could come here to chastise Commissioner Carney. What was specifically said by Ms. Heath was, come to the meeting tonight and support Scott, y'all. Scott presumably is Scott Paul, the Democratic candidate. So it really has nothing to do with county business or, quite frankly, what Mr. Carney said. It's what's ironic to me and somewhat hypocritical, ma'am. You responded immediately to that message, so you knew what it was all about. It was here tonight to support Scott Paul. But then Mr. Paul is the very person who uses words purportedly under the premise of art in some song where he's talking about oral sex, ejaculation, female genitalia, all in slang, vulgar terms, use the word retarded, and then, quite frankly, uses the same word bitch that you're complaining about. Now the bitch is in a coma. Apparently it's okay to come here and support that person and give this speech, but you're here tonight to engage in this diatribe that has nothing to do with the county business, and it's purely a political speech.
Okay, so that's very interesting spin.
You had your 3 minutes. I got my response. That's that. We're moving on. There's a bunch of people standing behind you, so we appreciate your opportunity to speak. I'm very well aware of what my role is. Thanks, ma'am. Thank you. I know who pays my bills too. Thanks.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm here because I think
done.
the county needs to know who is at their table, and I think you need to know who your colleagues
We all
are.
know exactly who's sitting up here. Appreciate your time.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
What a deplorable human being you are. Absolutely deplorable human being. He's a lawyer, he knows.
Hi, Mick DiPiano from Newton. First off, I wanted to point out that the behavior of the commissioners is county business, and I think it's pretty awful to say otherwise. But before we get that, I had to ask her. She said a HIB, and I didn't know what that was. It's a bullying violation. I do know what it feels to be the victim of those, though. But before I get into all that, I heard someone mention there's a survey that towns were supposed to fill out. I wanted to know more about that and whether my own town of Newton had completed theirs yet. And next month is November, and it's Indigenous Peoples Month, and that was declared in 2019 by President Trump, and I was hoping you would put out a resolution declaring that as well for that month, and possibly even bring in Indigenous voices to speak. Now, this is something I wanted to bring up last meeting, but I wasn't here. We had a shooting of a mentally ill veteran that happened on July 4th. I'm hoping that you guys can put out a statement of condolence for the family. The dude was a veteran, a father, and a husband, and he was having a mental crisis, and he did not get the support he needed. Patillo, you mentioned this being a stigma-free town and all the services available, but where was the services for him? Where was the stigma-free mentality for him? It was a tragic and unnecessary death, and when people talk about defund the police, this is kind of what we're talking about. It's not about police being bad, but like we needed a proper response for someone in that situation, and some cops were not it. And I'm hoping that you and the county can look into ways in which there are better ways to respond to events like that to prevent any other unnecessary and tragic deaths. I apologize. Is that better? Yeah. Okay, thank you. Again, I hosted some events last year for Black Lives Matter, and we had a huge turnout. Some of you were there. I think, Don, that was the first time I met you. And then later I asked for an anti-racism, anti-hate resolution, and we did not get it. Instead, we got a pro-respect resolution. And I just want to know where that pro-respect was when Carney was circling a woman's name and calling her a bitch and sending her a message about it. I hope that you, the rest of the commissioners, can take the appropriate action and censure him. And I hope you, Carney, do the right thing and step down and take actual accountability. And if you are going to lie about what you've done and why you've done it, you should work on your lying skills, because that story you sent doesn't even make any sense. And again, please, can we have hybrid options? Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Zoe Heath. I live in Vernon Township. Thankful for everyone else, this isn't a New Jersey Republican meeting, so campaigning doesn't fit here either, Mr. Seinhardt. What I say online in my free time has nothing to do with county business. What is county business is when a representative of our county, Commissioner Chris Carney, threatens a woman. It is poor representation for Sussex County. It doesn't reflect our values. It doesn't reflect what I thought of Commissioner Carney a few weeks ago. It is, when we take public office, we give up certain rights. Not rights, but we are held to a higher standard. Again, like Jody said, if she in her professional career said something like that, she would be fired. Threatening people and just how we talk about people matters. And when you're a public official going to events like the hiking trail, that's great. I'm glad our commissioners are out in the community. You were also on the campaign trail then, because there aren't always times to deviate when you're a commissioner and when you're campaigning. But it is an indisputable stance that Commissioner Carney represents the county, and threatening women does not represent this county. And that's why I believe he should be censured and he should resign. Thank you.
Christy Lavin, Hardiston. First off, I do want to acknowledge that when anyone does apologize, it's not an easy thing to do. It's much easier to pass blame and to just not acknowledge it. So initially when you apologized, I did recognize that. I think of another notable politician that said derogatory comments to another community member. And not only did he not apologize, but he doubled down and refused to apologize. And I remember thinking what it must have felt like for that individual, that woman, to not have that acknowledgement. So I think it really is important to have, to say you're sorry. What I will say is that right, wrong, or otherwise, whatever happened in that exchange, it's Jody's experience that it was directed towards her, and that's very clear. And I think that that's part of why you're getting such a reaction from the community, Commissioner Carney, is that for Jody, she hasn't had that acknowledgement. So I think it would go a long way if you did acknowledge to her directly, and I think it would be meaningful. I also wanted to make a statement, and I know that, it might not be commissioner business, but when something is put out there, Commissioner Fantasia, you put out a press release, and it called out the Sussex Democrats. I wouldn't presume to speak for the Sussex Democrats, but I would speak for myself. You mentioned Katie Brennan, and you didn't use her by name, but I can speak for myself, and that I certainly supported her, and I know I'm not alone in that. So to have a broad brush speaking for all Democrats that we're all a certain way is just unfortunate, and it's divisive. Thank you.
Kate Salerno, Sparta. I would like to start by, making sure it's clear that I'm not running any sort of campaign. I am just here in my own capacity as a community member. I think the issue with Commissioner Carney and the text that was sent is absolutely county business, and it's very important. I was actually surprised that Director Fantasia and Commissioner Carney didn't have a statement in new business to make about it, I would think, at least in their own defense, based on everything that's happened. I'm also, frankly, very disheartened and shocked at Mr. Steinhardt's behavior this evening. It's kind of, it's crazy, but also confirming that, the commissioners now and their lawyer, apparently their attorney, is turning to Facebook and actually doing their own reconnaissance in that way to try to pull out posts that individual concerned members have made in a way to further their own agenda. And I mean, it's very clear here that this board is extremely biased and partisan in a lot of different ways. I want to just say it's really brave of Jody for showing up here today and confronting Chris Carney face to face, bringing up the text after what I've witnessed. And I guess if you pulled up that post from Zoe Heath, you probably would have been able to see for yourselves that since she came out about what happened to her through this text message, there have been multiple editorials, some anonymously, written about her, accusing her of doing this for her own personal gain and otherwise. I have yet to hear either of the commissioners in question from the commissioner debate or otherwise make any sort of statement of support for Jody or just acknowledgement that this even occurred to her. I also know that some of these editorials have been reposted by the Sussex County Informer. Steve Salvaggio is one of the authors of that page, as is Joe LaBarbera. We're very aware that these are friends of yours. They're your constituents. They're the people that support you on your campaign. And I find it odd that, I did see your post, Ms. Fantasia, about, and I've heard all the, I'm really familiar with Scott Paul's lyrics now about his song and how upset you are about that. But I find it weird that you have so many feelings and such a passion for that, but you have yet to even address that your running mate made this statement. And I just want to say, I don't personally take issue with the word bitch per se, or vulgarity in particular, but I think for me it was the sentiment behind the text that was sent, the fact that that text was sent directly to Jody, and it wasn't a song lyric. And by the way, going back to the Sussex County the real Sussex County Informer, Salvaggio and LaBarbera, I've read so many things by them that are not appropriate at the very least and super highly offensive beyond that. So I'm just failing to understand the selective outrage and the quote-unquote double standards, to use your terms, that are being on full display here right now.
Steve Salvaggio, HOPACON. Just wanted to counter on that comment. You say you want Carney to resign.
Mr. Salvaggio, if you could step away, you have to leave the microphone in the thing, step back from it, and all of your comments must be directed towards the board, not to members of the
How does it feel bringing your kids to meetings on purpose?
Mr. Salvaggio,
come on.
That's it. Sorry, guys. I'm not. You're right. I'm not.
Enough. Between everybody. You have ran your mouth a multitude of times in here, so cut it out. He just left. Enough. I don't put up with it at our League of Women Voters debates when the audience acted like petulant children, and I'm not putting it up from you in here or any of them either. So cut it out. Does anyone else have a comment to make this evening on non-agenda items? Seeing no one else come forward, I make a motion to close the meeting to the public.
So moved.
Close public
Close,
session.
I'm sorry, I apologize. Close
Public session.
public session.
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, the meeting is now closed. Public comment is closed in the meeting. Jeez. Okay. Would any commissioner wish to make a statement regarding public comment? No? Okay. I myself will make no comment regarding public session because this is not the place to campaign. The place to campaign is elsewhere. And stay tuned. So next.
Good evening. Whereas the subject matters about to be discussed may be excluded from the public portion of the meeting by resolution of the Board of County Commissioners as an exception to the Open Public Meetings Act pursuant to NJSA 10:4-12B, and whereas it appears necessary for the Board of County Commissioners to discuss such matters in executive session, now therefore be it resolved that the Board of County Commissioners of the County of Sussex, in accordance with the provisions of NJSA 10:4-12B and NJSA 10:4-13, that the Board at this time enter into executive session from which the public shall be excluded, and be it further resolved that the general nature of the subjects to be discussed relate to the following item authorized by NJSA 10:4-12B as designated. Item 8, matters relating to the employment relationship, Department of Central Services, personnel policies. Be it further resolved that the deliberations conducted in closed session may be disclosed to the public upon the determination of the Sussex County Board of County Commissioners, or provided by law that the public interest will no longer be served by such confidentiality. And be it further resolved that upon completion of the business for which the Board has entered into executive session, the Board shall or will not reconvene.
May.
May.
That may reconvene and resume its meeting open to the public.
Okay, I need a motion to enter executive session, and normally for the benefit of the public, I'm going to ask what a guesstimated time would be.
Hour 15.
Okay, so roughly an hour or an hour and 15 minutes. So I need a motion to enter
So
into
moved.
executive session. And a second?
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I would say no more than an hour.
No more than an hour? Okay, so we had an aye for no more than an hour. Opposed? Okay, we are now entering into executive session. Thank you. We need a motion to come back from executive session resolution to enter regular business.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. At this time, I need a motion to eliminate the position of Director, Division Head, Office of Employee Services of Department of Central and Shared Services, effective immediately.
Still move.
And a second?
Second.
Discussion? All those in, is it a roll call? Roll call vote, please.
Director Fantasia?
Yes.
Commissioner Patillo?
Yes.
Commissioner Carney?
Yes.
Commissioner Fasano?
Yes.
Pass. Okay, at this time, I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?